Today, 147 K-band ground stations are installed and ready for operation. During March, we expect Harris to complete another 7 affiliates now being fed by AT&T landlines: Boston, Lake Charles, New Orleans, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Steubenville, and Youngstown. Plus, another 6 affiliates fed by other means: Brownsville, Hagerstown, Mitchell, South Dakota, Topeka, Waco, and Zanesville. So, by the end of March, we will have 160 affiliates ready to use the NBC K-band satellite system. And I'll mention 10 more stations in just a minute. All completed stations now have the latest software and the latest Harris receivers and equipment. Harris teams finish that this week, either by station visits or by downloading software via the satellite. Next week, we will begin uplinking our A and B network satellite schedules full-time from the New York Master Station, 47 floors high, across the street from NBC in mid-Manhattan. Let's have a look. Here are the 2 8-meter dishes, sitting on the roof on steel beams 5 feet thick, a transmit shelter behind each antenna, a single receive shelter for both antennas, and the power supply with its 2 generators. As you know, the Burbank Master Station began uplinking the full West Coast schedule last January. During March, we're using the New York Master Station to test the remote switching system, tests that are going very well, by the way, and to verify the software and status of the K-band equipment at each affiliate. The Harris maintenance teams will also concentrate on any repair items you have outstanding. The status of your K-band racks should now be, and these are the racks at WAEO in Rhinelander. SID number 1, off. Here are the Harris racks at WALB in Albany, Georgia. All patch cords out. Not in, but out, a clean board. All of the equipment should be in remote, so that every piece can be checked remotely by the New York Master. And you make the switch from 1R to 1E if there is a failure on 1R. This situation is only temporary for a couple of months. It is a thoroughly reliable way to operate until Harris makes the next round of visits, and I'll explain that in just a moment. Our transponder schedule was wired to you on the AIN by Rick Quackenboss on February 6th, STO number 19. Recall that wire on your AIN machine if you have any questions about what's on the satellite right now. Back to our calendar again. By the end of March, and I will wire you when all this will happen, our switching system will deliver the NBC program schedule to you all on 1R, including all the proper commercials meant for your station. Those of you who now switch between 1R and 2R to get the right Today Show feed, for example, in the afternoon program schedule, will no longer have to do so. 1R will have your programs, 2R will have your news, promos, and closed circuits. All of this will be pre-switched for you by Skypath control according to the new transponder schedules we will advise you of on the AIN wire. You will not retune your receivers. Skypath control will do it for you. You will still need to switch from 1R to 1E in an emergency. Remember, I will wire you when all that will happen. Then, early in April, comes the big day when we expect to make our major landline cut. When that is done, 3 of our affiliates will continue on AT&T landlines until their ground stations have been completed in April. West Palm Beach, Tampa, and Miami will be fed by WJKS Jacksonville. They already have their K-band ground station in place. And the remaining 7 affiliates, Fresno will be fed on an AT&T line out of Burbank. Charlottesville, Meridian, and Traverse City have microwave and will be installed during April. And Champaign, Chico, and Yuma also have microwave and will be finished on special dates thereafter, and that makes 170. Also in April, we will start testing each affiliate's antenna movement, 1 station at a time, in off hours. Since all of our schedules are on SBS3 transponders, antenna movement is not required right now. That can be checked later, during April and May. We are also looking forward to seeing each one of you at the NBC Chief Engineers Breakfast at the NAB in Las Vegas on April 16th at 7 a.m. We'll have a lot to talk about, including details of a small transmit package that can be added to make a receive-only antenna an uplink for NBC News. In June, I want to alert you to our meetings for chief engineers held this year during the week of June 17th. We'll have more information for you regarding the system and its operation. We plan to set up all of our electronic demonstrations for you in one place this year, tentatively Chicago. Plans are not all complete, but reserve that week for the meeting. That's quite a calendar of events, isn't it? March, April, May, June, and July. One final schedule you should know about. The SID units will be updated in May, June, and July. The Harris team will be revisiting your station to update the SID unit and turn it on. This will do the automatic switching for you between 1R and 1E. The Harris team will also check your fluke terminal so that you will be able to switch between 1R and 1E yourself and move the frame sync to other feeds as well. And the Harris team will complete your punch list items. Well, that's a fast-forward summary of what's planned for the K-band system over the coming weeks. Right now, you should be using your K-band system on the air as much as possible, except for sectional commercials, which are still on landlines for a few more weeks. Don't be afraid to use it. Dave Lane, chief engineer at KCNC Denver, has had his K-band ground station on the air since February of 1984. That's 13 months now, and I always hear good things from Dave Lane. Remember, you should now have the SID number 1 off, the patch cords out, and by the way, the ComSat frame sync left in the ComSat racks. That equipment belongs to ComSat, not to you, not to me. And be ready to switch from 1R to 1E should there be a problem. Your continued use of the system now, on air, will assure that needed maintenance gets done now. Well, that's it. Call your Skypath control if you have problems or questions. I'll be bringing you another closed circuit on our K-band progress within the next 2 weeks. See you then, and thanks for your tremendous cooperation. Also in April, we will start testing each affiliate's